So it's amazing to me that individuals can come out and talk about Nicki Minaj's husband, who was 15 at the time of this incident, and the girl was 16. And they want to say that he's a rapist, even though I don't think that's how the story went. I think this little guy was hoodwinked or set up, because you can hear the girl coming back and stating that she was going to let the judge know that she got pressured into doing this, putting this, or accusing him. And the judge basically told her, well, if you recant, then you're the one going to jail. Well, guess what? If you got a choice, who are you going to put in jail, yourself or the other individual? And you already know her ethics are not that high if she was willing to lie in the first place. So we have people out there that want to complain and bring this up all the time. Well, why don't you same mothers bring up Joe Petto sniffing on little girls, bring up his son, who is literally seen sleeping with his niece, and she's all coked up. Bring up Diddy, who's actually been sexually raping the little boys when they come into the industry, or Jay-Z. Why aren't you guys hyped up about that? Why aren't you guys talking about the real adult men that are raping little 2 and 3 and 4-year-olds? Have that same energy. But when you come out here and you're talking about 2 teenagers, I'm not dismissing if something truly happened with the 2 teenagers. Okay? But they were teenagers. And a lot of times girls get upset when the guy doesn't call them back. All right? But as a 2, 3, 4, 5-year-old, a 12-year-old, come on. Those are the ones that you need to be getting upset about. And when you get upset about teenagers and the potential of maybe one of the teenagers being called out and put in jail because the other one lied on him, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. But yet you're not going to say a word about all these little kids out there that are being human trafficked for sex. You're not going to say a word out there with the illegal president sniffing on little girls. Really? I just had a guy come out and say, oh, well, that tells you, about yourself if you're going to stick up for Nicki Minaj's husband. Well, I'll tell you, I was a teenager once. I got with a gentleman, and he tried. It didn't go very far. I fought back. But what I'm telling you is that if it truly is that, then there should have been a lot more evidence and all this, but it got recanted by her. Did it get recanted in the courts? No. But you know what? I bet you Nicki and them guys could actually go out there and get this taken off the records. And if they pulled her back and got her statement and all that and blah, 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 they could probably get it reversed, okay? All I'm saying is that you guys are putting way too much pressure on teenagers where something could have happened versus these adults. And has he ever done it again? Okay, normally when a person rapes somebody, that's not the first and only time, unless they're in prison for the rest of their lives. But when they get out a lot of times, they do it again. So start thinking and using your brain. Don't just believe the internet. Just don't believe that everything that people tell you, because then you're jumping on a bandwagon and potentially making accusations that you could be sued on. The things that I'm talking on, it's not just me saying it. I am watching several people that have gone through and physically got hurt, like Cassie with Diddy in 10 years. Drugged her up, made her have sex, raped her multiple times. Call that person out. The one that's out there on his little Twitter account with his little hairy face, white guy, okay? You want to start calling people out? Call them out correctly. Call the right ones out. Be a man. Call the men out instead of the teenagers that were doing this. And don't come at me telling me that, oh, I can see how you are. No, 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 no. I see how you are. You're protecting the men out there that are raping the kids and coming after the teenagers. That's how I see it, okay? Step back for a minute and look, because I didn't see that same energy on all these men that are being called out. And so that's why I asked you if you're getting paid by the industry to talk on Nikki, because a lot of people are. And if you are getting paid to talk on Nikki, what does it say about your ethics? What does it say about you? And how are you going to feel years down the road when you find out that you were paid to be on the wrong side and that you're attacking the good side versus the evil side? Okay, because that's what's going on right now. It's a war of evil and good. There's those that really truly pray, and there's those that pretend to pray. There's those that will take the attention off of them and try and put it on somebody else. And they'll give you money for it. They're paying people $250 to talk about Nikki right now. So if that's the case and you're taking that money, then you're very unethical, because really just $250 to lie? That's all it costs? Wow. Wow. Then you got to be a Biden fan, a Megan Thee Stallion fan, a Jay-Z fan, and you're into all that freak-offs and men raping women and men raping boys, because you're hyped so much on 2 teenagers versus the actual cases that are out there and these guys that are getting away with it. Go see how many people have herpes from Diddy because of him giving them to people. Go see how many people have herpes from Jay-Z because he's giving them to people. And what about when he got on a little 15-year-old girl and gave her herpes, and he was a grown, full man? How come you're not complaining about that? How come you're not researching that? So, come at a woman, try and be mean to a woman, you big bully. But go out and do your research before you jump down a woman's throat. Because most men don't do that. I should say men don't do that, but boys do. So, that's my opinion. I think when men jump down a woman's throat and don't want to hear, even debate with them, and want to start calling you out and says, oh, it tells me your character. No, sweetie. You just showed your character because you weren't willing to have an adult conversation and say, really, where did you see that news at? Instead, you're like, oh, I can see what you're about. You don't even know me. You have nothing, you know nothing about me. And I didn't say anything about you. I just said that, oh, people believe what they hear on the internet. And if you took offense to that, then that means that you're one of those. Okay? That believes everything. Which is sad. You can't think on your own. Can't do your own research. You got to go out there and listen to everybody else's bullshit and then turn around and go, oh, yeah, it's all right. Yep. And Epstein's Island was never there. Jeffrey Epstein doesn't really exist. All the little kids that were taken, that's not true. There ain't no tunnels underneath the United States. Bill Clinton didn't go to the Epstein Island 20-some times. That's all lies, right? Yeah, keep telling yourself that. Americans, you guys need to wake up. Stop being the ones that are spreading false misinformation. Start being a man or a woman and standing up for what's right. And not just because you want to make a quick buck. Megan's running around sleeping with every guy and showing you that you can make it to the top when you sleep with people. Is that what you want for your daughter? You want your daughter to be a whore? You want your boy to be gay? Because that's exactly what they're doing to him. They get in that industry. But, you know, those men out there that are talking and want to try and hype up 2 teenagers with the potential of the rape really not happening, but yet won't speak about or be as, have the same energy for the actual stories that are coming out now, not 30 years ago. This guy's 40-something years old and you're talking about him when he was 15. Let's talk about the ones that are still doing the bad. Let's talk about ones that are still going around and putting abuse on these young boys and these young girls. Okay? So, start doing your homework. Start opening your eyes. Let's start calling out the real pedophilia people. Okay? And not the potential of 2 teenagers that might have potentially not really happened the way it says. So, thank you for listening. Again, this is Nana's opinion, and my opinion only. You don't like it, just keep moving on. You want to debate as an adult and give me other proof, I don't have a problem with that. You want to turn around and you want to sit here and, start calling names and saying stuff, well, then I got a problem. But you guys have a great day and a better weekend.